Hello, all of my clever cats, my fierce foxes, and my cunning canines. Tonight we gather in this shadowy hideout to discuss our devious schemes for our precocious plans of envious, evil, and notorious knights. But we need to settle on a team to assist each of us with our schemes. I am the Grand Thief Sammy, and it is showtime!
I am evil type Pixel Doctor.
I am the Dark Knight Deadlock.
I am the Owl of Darkness and the Night and the Moon.
I am the cunning fox Mordred.
And we are here for another draft list. Sam did a wonderful improv intro. I don't know if you or she very quickly wrote that down. I'm not sure which.
I very quickly wrote that down, darling.
Okay.
Scripts are nice.
Anyway, yes, Dark type Pokemon. We rolled, and now that Sam did that, I'm thinking we should do this for Halloween, but we already have Halloween stuff planned out. Stick around, subscribe for that. That being said, we gotta get going. And who better to get going? The person that did the intro, because that's how things work around here.
Yes, and being a Grand Thief myself, I need some sort of theme to stick around. A way to say that I was here. A calling card. A mask of some sort. And who better to assist me with that matter than my favorite leopard.
That's a big cat.
It is a big cat.
Not the biggest cat, but
This purple cat, while very, very specific to Unova, it is very cunning, slick, and elegant in its design, and you know it's ready to frisk anything off of anyone within a moment's notice, and it'll take pleasure in doing so.
Doesn't even get frisk as an ability.
Doesn't need to, Hardy.
Gotta say I like the side tail on that evolution one. It's cool. The side tail on Viper.
Sickle, I think would probably be a better
Oh,
way.
you said the way you said. It was your accent, but the way you said evolution, I thought you said evolution.
Nope, we're not. They may be here, but no.
That's why I was confused.
Speaking of,
It's not your turn.
Whose turn is it?
It's my turn.
Yeah, I was expecting. Like, here's the part where you pick
Ironically,
Sam.
speaking of, Umbreon is my pick. The best
Yep, there it is.
evolution.
There it is.
The peak design, the sleek design. It's clearly a dark type, perfectly personifying it. It's got this friendly demeanor to it though, you can still reasonably befriend it, keep it as a pet. It's got the best shiny, don't want to hear any complaints. And I have a very personal attachment to Umbreon. It was one of my first shinies, was a shiny Eevee. I evolved it into a shiny Umbreon. 10 out of 10, peak.
Overrated shiny, but it is good.
Also, this thing is a freaking tank.
You do
Yep.
be tank.
You
But
do
it
be
is a-
stolen.
I like Umbreon more now than I did before, because I used to not like Umbreon, but I still think it's kind of overrated.
It's okay.
is
God
very-
damn it. Glad I have backups.
I'm just gonna be honest here. Like, Umbreon, even out of all the evolutions, is always like one of the safest picks you can go with.
Very much so, and I am not going to disagree with your opinion on the shiny, as it is
I am.
quite elegant, and I even use the idea of it on a design for one of my own personal creatures that I'm still working on myself.
Yes, it's a peak shiny, one of my favorites easily.
I mean, I prefer base, but I'm not gonna.
I mean, both are good.
Yeah.
You know, the next pick might have the same shiny color scheme, Mordred, if you don't mind.
Well then, I call upon one of the masters of deception. The wonderful fox baby itself. Zorua.
Interesting way of saying that, but yeah, definitely a good one.
It do be a fox baby.
Yeah,
Nice.
fox baby.
It is cute. I still like Hisuian better.
I mean,
Cool.
same, but that's not for here for obvious
Look,
reasons.
it's not a dark type, so it can't even be on
Wow.
this list.
I just like throwing shade. It makes Mordred mad.
I mean, I always think this thing also is like a pseudo-mythical Pokemon, considering...
You two get lowered because of that.
Got 'em.
Just kidding.
Listen,
But yeah, like, the thing about how you even got this back in Unova, like, you could not get it, like, the normal means. You had to get, like, event stuff in order to actually find these two.
it
Very
did
much
seem
so.
kind of mythical at the time. I do remember thinking that. That was the
And I-
coolest thing.
Like, heck, in order to get it in the first one, you needed Celebi. Like, just to illustrate how, like, annoying this probably could have been just to get normally.
You needed another event Pokemon to get this Pokemon.
Yeah, and while that is quite annoying, I do like that it did appear in that manner and made it feel such a special mon, like the movies try to impose. Like, it is special. They bring focus to it for a reason, and that was a good way to show it off.
But no, though, Zorua is my baby. Seeing the Zoroark movie made me fall in love with the little fella. Made me cry for it.
I mean, both are
Understand
good, let's
yourself.
be honest.
I haven't seen that one, but I do be a little fella.
But yeah, I love that Gen 5 brought in two mons that felt like pseudo-mythicals in the form of Zoroark and Zorua as one of them, I'm counting. And for the other, I would have to put Volcarona there as well, considering how it feels to encounter that one.
And that
Well,
too.
that is for another time.
That is for another time.
Yeah. Stop stretching out the video, Sam.
Come on, I have
Please.
opinions.
Yeah, but it's not your turn for opinions. Deadlock.
It's my turn, in fact, and you know what? Might as well just go with death at this
Ling.
point. Yeah, I'm bringing out the God of Death Yveltal for this.
Inferior Gen 6 Legendary.
I
This is very
resent that. The only reason Xerneas is better is because it has type advantage. Otherwise, this thing is king.
It also has
Insert-
aesthetic advantage.
Insert Egyptian god music here.
That's one way of doing it, but yeah, just literally this is the guy who is the embodiment of death. When the whole ultimate weapon was being used, let's be honest, this thing makes more sense to power a weapon of mass destruction than it does a god of life. Can we just agree on that real quick?
Very much so.
It's got a point.
The story did work better when it was focused on Yveltal, as that did seem like a good power source for a giant weapon.
I mean, yeah, even so, he's got some very powerful moves as well as like a gigantic stat pool befitting all legendaries. And then there's like its signature move, Oblivion Wing, which I'm very disappointed it's not Dark move. Why?
To be fair, being a flying type move gives a lot of power to the flying type.
I mean, fair enough. It's essentially the most powerful version of Giga Drain there is.
It'd be the ultimate suck.
Consuming life force.
I just find it weird that these Dark Beam, you would even see the same effects for the later Dark Z move, was not made Dark type. It just weirds me out a bit. But I will say, even just like adding to its like more death aesthetic, you have its shiny form right there, which essentially just turns it into a cadaver.
It's shiny
And
was
that's-
bad.
I mean, it's a love or hate kind of shiny, but at least I can
Bacon.
just see it's more like in death, where it's like you just showing like everything without the skin, which yeah, kind of helps the whole death idea going for it.
Go up spooky, scary skeletons.
It looked bad.
You don't even get to see its skeleton.
It's a piece of bacon. Don't get me wrong.
Everyone will always call it that, but I don't.
It tastes like bacon.
If it gets
Yeah,
an origin
but
form,
no,
it should just have a
bacon.
skeleton form.
Well, we'll
I
see.
would not be okay. I would not be
may-
winners for that.
Maybe it was EA. Who knows? We'll see. Let us know if we predicted things correctly. We'll know when we see it, but let us know if we predicted correctly.
Also, I will say, just like a side note, I love that one little gif where it just has called like the baby bird Pokemon all over it.
Good death
Birds.
burp.
Yeah, it is just adorable and wholesome. You
All
don't
right.
get that with Xerneas.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's too busy taking care of Deerling. Who cares about Deerling?
I like Deerling.
At least Xerneas got a proper role in a side game.
Anyways,
My turn. You rambled too long about your bird. I'm gonna go.
Best bird.
No, not even close.
Very good bird.
That may be true. Anyway, I'm gonna go with the one who's been all reliable for me. He's done so much work for me in so many playthroughs in different games. Poke MMO, he did me pretty well. I gotta go with my boy Lil Pip. I'm going with Scrafty. Not because of Holding Scrafty, just Scrafty. He just be a fella.
Good old pants lizard.
I just like him. He's always done me well. He gets both Intimidate, he gets Moxie, which are both nice. He's always served me well, so I just gotta go with him. And the fact that he's fighting, he can beat other dark types that don't have like a resistance to flying. Just nice. Plus he looks kind of silly. I don't mind silly.
It's goofy, yet also.
Anyway, I'll just move right on to my second pick. Scrappy, just my OG, so I gotta grab him right away. I'm gonna go with
I
the,
do.
with-
I do want to make a note that Scrafty is based on the Zoot Suiters, and I think that's pretty cool.
I don't know what that is. Put it on
Oh,
screen.
it's an old history thing. Yeah. Looking sharp there, fellas.
Anyway, I'm gonna go with the new gen. I know everyone's mad it stood up, but it stood up, and you gotta deal with it. And it has become one of my favorite starters in recent years. I'm going with Meowscarada. Good old Meow Meow with the nice move Flower Trick that gets its signature. Originally when I did Gen 9 when we did our playthrough, I wanted to use Quaxley, but I ended up losing the thing we were doing. So I ended up getting Sprigatito, and I wasn't happy about it first. But after it evolved and I got to use it, I ended up falling in love with Meowscarada. It's a magic cat. It does tricks.
Well, I got sniped.
I mean, it was going to be inevitable. Let's be real.
Like all good things.
I'm not upset, and I'm not sorry. Meowscarada.
I don't hate it, but Sprigatito peaked and the rest of the line fell flat. That's it.
Excuse me.
Your tastes are terrible.
I'll be honest, this is as much as I just wanted to stay on all fours, this is the one time I disagree. I actually do like it a lot.
Yeah.
I don't hate it, but I don't particularly like it either. It's just
You leave my trans cat friend alone.
That
Doesn't
being
even
said,
have to be. It's just nice.
That being said, put the next one on all fours, please.
I mean, they finally put the fire type on all fours.
Thankfully, even though it gets up for one of its animations, but that's for another time.
It
Again,
That's an animation. That's not. That's not.
we keep a
its
counter
base.
for Sam just keep bringing up other topics we'll be doing another time.
I'll do it for everyone.
Ding.
Well, consider
Anyway.
my sins.
Moving on, Deluck, please.
I think I'll stick with the whole Gen 9 thing and just go with the goldfish.
Solid Chi-Yu. I actually am very happy with this pick because, it's got that kind of cell shading look, which no other Pokemon has.
Honestly, you could just put any of the Treasure of Ruins, but Chi-Yu is just my favorite, just for the whole magma motif going on with it, as well as the whole rosary bead being cursed, which is a nice twist on an artifact that's usually supposed to be purifying. And this thing is just a monster in every sense of the word.
I'm not sure if I was going to pick it, but you could definitely consider this a steal from me because it was on my list.
Definitely meta.
Yeah, it was definitely meta because I think it drops special defense when it hits the field.
Yes,
Or it just- it
and
doesn't
it's a
drop it like
special
a stat,
attack in
it just
beams.
cuts it.
Yeah, it's they just
So,
have 25% less
it's just
effective
good.
special defense. And yeah, as I said earlier, it's a monstrous special attacker. It's gonna destroy things. And this thing is basically just magma wherever it's swimming, so it
We lose
always
that
has
luck?
its advantage.
Anyways, good luck.
Yeah, I just like how this thing just is always creating places for it to swim around in, because it just essentially just liquefies the molten rock beneath it to actually just get around. And that's just a fun idea for something that is definitely ruinous.
Speaking of a fun idea, considering how dense rocks are and how dense the fish would have to be in order to be able to swim through it, that's
Yeah,
pretty
he's a-
crazy.
Yeah, strong fish. Also, its
Very
shiny
strong
is
fish.
its shiny is very good. You would think it would make it more water type, but then you remember blue fire is even hotter.
Mm-hmm.
And Ball Logic.
Yeah, now if only it wasn't shiny locked. Mordred, go on before I get mad.
I'm red hot mad.
Well, as you know, I
Or Blue
grabbed
Hot
my
Man.
favorite fox child, but I must grab the Pokemon that stood by me throughout my lore as a soon-to-be VTuber. And best surrogate parent of Pokemon, Zoroark.
Get the whole line going.
Two times I've been sniped.
See, the one thing I'll give this is the purple works on Zoroark better than it works on Hisuian Zoroark. I'm just gonna say that.
No, I disagree. It works well on both of them, in my opinion.
I like the blue better on. I wish it kept the blue from Hisuian Zora versus Hisuian Zoroark. I don't like the purple on it.
Well, I'm glad it kept the purple for Zoroark instead of the cyan for Zora.
No, the cyan would have looked better.
I just like them all.
The fuck do you mean sniped Sam?
You know exactly what they mean.
Oh, you know what I mean.
Sam, if you knew she was gonna pick this, so you had ample time to pick it. You were round
Yeah,
one
it was
pick.
it was the last one on my list. Don't worry, I was expecting it to be picked.
All right, well then don't say sniped.
Well, it was sniped because it was on my main list.
That's deceptive.
That is very deceptive.
It was the last one on my main list
Deception.
And I put it on
Anyways,
because
about
I
the
like.
Zoroark.
I put it on because I like it, not because I expected Mordred to pick it. Like you asked.
Yeah, Zoroark is just bigger, better Zora in every way except cuteness.
They also get
So
Night
it's
Days.
still kind of cute and it's alright.
I think Night Days is still unique to Zoroark. I don't think anything else gets it.
I'm pretty sure as well, and you might want it on other moves instead of its place, but what was it, like 60% chance to lower accuracy? That's scary.
It's slightly more power. I think it's, I don't know if it's 60%, but I know it's like 10. It's like 5 or 10 more power than Dark Pulse.
40%. Yeah, 5 more power for 5% accuracy, but it is 40% chance of lowering accuracy, which is
That's pretty
very
good.
nasty.
That's basically a coin
very
flip not in your favor.
And it's a pretty cool move, I must say. It's cool contest.
Oh, okay.
It gives you 3 heart in the cool contest.
Of course it does.
Anything to add there, Mordred? I guess kind of like everything you said about Zora kind of does just extend to Zoroark.
Night Days does help with its like illusory abilities. Meaning it's harder to pin down.
Yeah, it all just transfers over at this point because I love both due to the movie.
Alright, well then we'll just leave it at that and move on to the next one.
I call forth a dark ally from the moon. Darkrai, rise forth!
This is the second moon Pokemon you picked.
I know.
I feel like when you think like this is the epitome of a dark type. Like he is just darkness.
Yep.
I mean,
He's-
it's in the name.
he's got
Also,
great-
is it representative of the moon if it represents the new moon, which is the
Yes.
least amount of moon?
No,
Yes.
no, it's still the most amount. It's still the most amount of moon. It's just the other side. Like
I
the
mean,
moon
not
is still
even the
there.
side.
See
It's
it?
It's the same moon. It's the same side of the moon. It's just the moon you don't see.
In the wise words of Transformers, it is Dark of the Moon. Anyway, Darkrai has a great lore connection with Cresselia, representing a duality of nightmares and peaceful sleep. The moon connection, of course, as we just discussed, is really neat. Works as an evil Pokemon and in its characterization, and a misunderstood one. It can be both sympathetic and antagonistic in varying points of the franchise. The Rise of Darkrai movie showcasing it as a misunderstood Pokemon that you end up really upset about if you see that movie. But equally, there's plenty of media where it's shown as a villain, such as its events in the games. And it also has one of the best Pokemon anime movies. Chef's Kiss, great Pokemon.
You talking about the one with Palkia and Dialga?
Yeah, Rise
Yes.
of Darkrai.
Yeah, I like that one. I
As much
remember
as I
too well,
was
but I
playing
remember seeing
devil's
it.
as much as I was playing devil's advocate there, I do have to agree. It is a great Pokemon. It has the longest of legs, and it has the strongest Crimson Chin you've ever seen this side of
It's a really cool
Fairly
design.
Odd Parents.
It's got this, like, they could have just left it as like a black blob, but they added the extra red chin, it just really stands out. It's really simplistic but efficient, and the one glowing eye is really neat.
And the
I
white
do-
smoke scarf.
I do like his stupid long spaghetti legs. It's pretty funny. It's just like it adds some comedy to its design.
It's amusing, but it's kind of realistic in the way that he is like a living shadow, so of course he can change his body in that way, but it's like the actual just haunting silhouette of no legs, I think, is even scarier, just this floating ominous creature of nightmare.
I like Darkrai. Too bad they nerfed the dude because of Smeargle.
Yeah, don't talk to me about that. Dark Void's a cool move though, and I
It
love
is
the
a cool
whole-
move, but it's one of the potentially the most overpowered moves in all of Pokemon.
Hey, leave my good dog alone.
Like seriously, 80% accuracy for hitting both of your opponents in doubles or even triple battles. Like, dear God, what is this?
On this topic, I also think it's a great legendary that like blends its lore and its gameplay style together. The ability to just consume the nightmares of our Pokemon as it does to the humans in the actual game events too. You got the old the member card event in Gen 4 to portray that really well. Alright, I'm settled with that.
Alright. Well, if you're passing it along to me, the fabulous feline, then I must turn it so in kind and pass it towards my fabulous feline, Purloin. Again, another personal favorite of mine, as I've tried to make this thing work in the Gen 5 games, and Pokemon is really trying to make it not work.
It is
As-
stage 1 evolution, so
Well, look, I'm talking about the whole line here. It needs some sort of buff, even if it is an early route rodent, quote-unquote, rodent Pokemon. Like Zigzagoon or frickin' Poochyena. But it's adorable, it's a cat, and it's so sassy. How can you not love it?
I just hate that the 3D version made it stand up on 2 legs. It was fine with its 5 sprites.
I also hate that.
Yes, but also that just gives it more sass that it just stands there mocking you.
Again, I feel like the Gen 5 sprite did that better.
Yeah, it sat there and like played coy with you in Gen 5. But,
yeah, again, I like that better.
And the model just kind of stands up and is like, no, fuck you. Can't tell me what to do, bitch.
Come on, Pokemon just really wants every Pokemon to stand up.
A little bit. I mean, they're kind of edgy like that. And, I mean, we're talking about the dark types. We're talking about edginess. We might as well get all our good rep in there. So I'm just gonna skip over to my next pick and pick the edgiest mon there is, Absol.
Disagree, but okay.
This is a beautiful mod. The bringer, the warning, the person who warns you of dangers incoming, the one who's often misjudged and thought to bring harm to others, when it's really just trying to warn you, and looking fabulous as it does. Especially when it Mega Evolves and gets those angel wings. God, she can slay.
Another overrated Pokemon.
I would disagree on that.
Fucking sniped when I said I'd be choosing it to represent my model maker.
Well, it's what you get for picking
That
Zoroark.
wasn't my intention. Like I said, I put it on my list because I do like it. Just like I put Zoroark on my list.
And I do like how it's Mega. I do like how its Mega Form also essentially goes from just a normal warning to Guardian Angel status.
It is very beautiful.
It's a great Mega.
But it's also super edgy. Speaking of which, what kind of edge do you bring?
Well, I've got a pretty big Pokemon before we had big Pokemon. I call forth Godzilla himself, Tyranitar, to the battlefield.
Damn.
Here we go.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd get to it.
It's got a badass design. Looks like it could legit just end your existence. It's the non-dragon pseudo that we're all looking for more of. Its design's so good when it gets downgraded when it Mega Evolves somehow. Seriously, how did they mess that up? And then you've got Dark Tyranitar from the Forever/Celebi movie, which was a neat little reskin, just showing off how destructive that thing really is. It's just cool. It defines like Hyper Beam as a move, kind of in my mind. I see Hyper Beam, I see that thing just destroying everything.
I do remember that. It was pretty cool.
And let's not forget, this thing essentially just defied an entire
Glad
generation
that wasn't
of
on my
metagame.
main list, unlike Sam.
Like, every time you go, like, over, like, to Advanced, you cannot have a discussion about it without Tyranitar. He rules it. He defines it. He is king in there.
And for what it's worth, his color scheme doesn't really, seem Dark-type, you know? Like, a lot of Dark-types have, like, a hard focus on black in their color scheme.
To be fair, it's also the same color scheme as Larvitar, which is not a Dark-type itself.
But that's part of my point. It doesn't focus too much on the dark color scheme.
Yeah, it's
And yet he is one of like the better dark users. Like, it was because of him that a lot of metagames also just got stable because, oh hey, there's a Gengar here. I'm sorry, I'm here. You're not ruined.
Yeah, big up Godzilla. That's basically all I gotta say. He's cool.
Alright, Warder, make a pick before someone steals it again.
I will take the single striker Shifu.
Okay.
I do have to say real quick, those of you who don't think it's a bear,
This
you're wrong.
Pokemon stood out to me most in Isle of Armor for Sword and Shield, and it's one of my 2 mains on Pokemon Unite.
I haven't played Unite. I didn't even know it was in it.
Yeah, it got added a while back. I haven't played it in a long time myself, mostly because I just got sick of it.
I prefer the Surging Strike version, but I mean,
Yeah,
like,
same.
they're virtually the same in terms of design, so...
Design and what
your
they
color.
want to accomplish.
Yeah, I personally just don't like MOBAs, but that's just a me thing.
Which is fair.
Shifu is not a bad pick. I'm not totally against this. I'm not totally for it. I do like bears, though, so, you know, keep that in mind.
I do like Kung Fu.
I'm still hesitant on calling this thing a legendary Pokemon, but it's still a
Stance and
strong
typings
Pokemon.
being the only difference because of how they were trained.
It is a weird thing to understand that it is in fact a legendary, even though it's weird.
Yeah,
It's
like
good.
even though where it's apparently from, it's just like a very common Pokemon.
Yeah.
Where does it come from? Where does it go? Where does it come from?
Where did it come from?
I
Hot
don't
Night
know.
Joe.
On a related topic, Poipo's a starter, and that's pseudo-legendary, depending on your definition of EBs. So,
Apparently, they've recently been like, it was like a coding thing. They're not supposed to be legendaries.
Yes, I agree.
Well, then what is supposed to be legendary? Deadlock.
I've already had 2 of them on my list. How dare you?
Yeah, so I assumed you're going for 3. A stereotype deal. How do you feel?
3 for
Feel-
3?
No, actually, I was gonna show up Sam over here for being edgy because, I'm sorry, you think Absol is edgy? We have freaking Bisharp over here.
That boy do got a lot of edges.
I'm sorry that you were going for the more literal definition rather than the hypothetical or the metaphorical
Oh, you say,
definition.
this guy is both in one.
Oh, okay. Bishop to F4.
Okay.
I'm sorry, sorry, I'm capturing it.
I thought we were here to play Pokemon, not chess.
Don't
Well, I
worry,
mean,
some-
the whole
someone
line
made
is
fun of
based.
this.
The whole line is based on a few chess pieces. With the previous one and the next one that we got later being the Pawn and King.
King's
But that's not to
Gambit.
say this guy is bad either. Like Dark Steel type can actually get a lot of work done, especially in where like all these fairies are running around, and he can just shut down so many things as well. And I believe what did they got? Did they also get Moxie as well? I forget.
No, he got Defiant.
Justified or defied.
Oh yeah, Justify. Yeah, you just basically just 8 dark moves, and because you know what's better than just actually just
It was
not being hit by
Defiant.
another one.
There's
It was
the
Defiant.
I mean, I was thinking of something else. But
Yeah.
No,
but it's,
yeah,
it,
yeah,
it is.
Defiant.
It's yeah. The only reason I didn't care much for Bisharp is it's too slow to do much, so it never lasts very long.
Yeah, fair enough. But like in a world where like things like Intimidate are running amok, here we are. It's just like a literal hard counter to such notions.
It definitely.
I'm sorry, you think you're just getting rid of my stats? No, I'm sorry, you're punished for it. I'm even stronger now, bitch.
Although most things with Intimidate tend to be running either a ground, fire, or fighting type move.
Yeah,
I mean, this
so,
thing's got Sucker Punch too, so he still has priority whenever he needs it.
it
True.
helps.
I think he also gets Bullet Punch as well.
He does
Does
get
he?
Bullet Punch, pretty sure.
So yeah, he still has options, even though when he's against much speedier things, or he can just be on a team with has Trick Room. Like there's a lot of ways to take advantage of this guy, as well as punishing your opponent's tactics.
I don't even know if Trick Room really helps. If his speed's middling, it's not even like too good or too bad.
Depends on the competition you're going against.
Joey
does.
Scarf!
It does.
Yeah, Sword Scarf also exists too.
That too. But you know what?
But I mean, just look at this thing. Every single blade, every single edge on it, it is just... This is what I would love from like Dark Pokemon, where you just get to show off the cool factor of these kind of designs.
I could show off the cooler factors.
Please do.
I can. And you know what? This guy is actually quite sharp. Quite like yours, actually. Pretty. And you know what? He always gets to the point. I'm going with Overquill. I
Yeah,
don't know
that-
why
he's got a
I
good
like.
point.
I don't know why I love this big stupid pufferfish.
Guys, I
But,
think we
nice.
lost him on this point.
but he's just. I don't know. I just love him. He's just big, pointy, and compass shaped. He's got nice. He's got purples at the tips for to represent poison, which I think he does pretty well. And he's also massive. I don't know why he's so big, but I don't know. And it gave Quillfish an evolution. I feel like it definitely needed it. I know it's a different form of Quillfish, but still.
I mean, it's something. It's
It
more
is,
than a
and-
lot of Pokemon gets.
And it's pretty good in its own right. So I'm happy with it.
Also, this might be from point to point because it's 8 feet, which is a lot.
Yeah, it is. It is weird how big this thing is.
Can I comment why it is so large? I have a lore reason.
Sure,
So it's
go ahead.
foreshadowed in the Sinnoh library back in Gen 4 in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum that there's a quillfish with bigger quills in one of the storybooks about a hero in the past of Hisui, pre-Hisui. You even hear about it again in Legends Arceus. The levels.
Pre-Sui?
Yeah, pre-Sui. Yeah, sure. But yeah, peak name. I love Overquill too. Great one. Glad we finally got the quillfish deliverance we deserved.
It really, yeah. I mean, the later Gen 8 and Gen 9 Pokemon, I think, for the most part, were pretty solid. And Overquill, despite how silly he is, I just love him. Speaking
Also,
of...
by the way, considering this thing is also poison dark, it's only one weakness, which is not. It's not even like a ×4 weakness like you would see with, like, say, Scizor. It's only a ×2.
Yeah, those ground types.
The fact it gets switched to him as a dark poison type is nice too. Anyway, you ruined my flow. You ruined my flow a little bit, but continuing on with my Gen 8, Gen 9 propaganda, I was going and spitting with Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl. He's just so cool. I don't know. He's based off. I'm pretty sure he's based off the well, obviously like the fairy tales of like the Grimm's fairy tales, but specifically, to me, I'm forgetting the name of the monster. But there's a story called Beowulf that sounds very similar to how Grimmsnarl looks.
Grendel,
thank you. I couldn't remember. And it always stuck with me because I liked that story. And Grimmsnarl is just cool being a dark fairy, so like it's a dark fairy tale. So I just liked the kind of literal like naming that's going on there, and it's Grimmsnarl, the Grimm fairy tale. It just makes me happy. It also comes with some nice moves. Sets up screens and all this stuff. It's just cool, bulky, and he gets a pretty solid G-Max form looking like a JoJo stand, so I'm fine with that.
I do have to say, this is a really cool looking Pokemon, and while it is extremely hairy, that is undeniably so, I also have to shout out how its entire line is basically a reference to brownies in Grimm Fairy Tales.
What is that?
It's a type of fairy, and also a type of goblin. Which goblins are a type of fairy, if you did not know, apparently.
I think it depends on the iteration, but yeah, sure.
It also depends on the iteration.
That wasn't how it was like a long time ago. It's just like they've just become more distinct these days.
Yeah. Like swords. They become more distinct these days.
Yeah, I love the whole line, but it really does peak with Grimmsnarl.
Great design.
It is pretty
For some
good.
reason it goes from pink to green, though, and I don't understand.
I really like the color scheme of it.
The green is for contrast, I think. It goes the typical goblin color scheme.
Red and green are complementary colors, after all.
Yes, well, it uses more pink than red, but I get what you're saying.
And, well, yes, but even then, like, fairy and dark tend to be the opposing forces, so having that show up in its color scheme is actually quite a nice introduction to that.
Plus, it also kind of looks like the Wicked Witch of the West a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, what else can you see, Deadlock? Because I think I can see your round 4 pick.
Ooh. It's looking shiny.
I'm not sure if you can, because we're going to hell for this one. This is
God
Houndoom.
Wouldn't be the first time.
I just got back.
I've just been to Norway.
Oh no.
Just been to Norway.
That's a running joke.
Motherfucker.
Look, I also got sniped on this one, Mordred.
I know
Another stolen.
I like Houndoom. It's never performed well enough to be one of my favorites for me, but I do like it nonetheless.
I just wish I got more opportunities to use it, because it is like one of the oldest designs that is just like still solid even to this day. You have like the normal like bone motif to just bring up the Hellhound idea, the little like barbed tail that just evokes like devil imagery, and then you have its mega form, which just amplifies all of those traits up to 11.
Yeah, pretty much.
Should be a really cool.
Like it goes from like the little typical barb tail to a forked tail, like like they have pitchforks.
I have to say, I just played Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion. They have a food demon, which is very devil-based, and it has a little, like, fire crown. I'm kind of wishing they Houndoom gets that, and I may Photoshop that in here right now.
I don't even care if it does or not, because it's just, like, so over the top and just how, like, evil this is, and I just love it for a fire type.
And I am very sure that if the Pokemon Company wasn't scared about like adding body horror to the game, which I never do believe they will do. I doubt they would ever do that. But if they were not shy about that, they would probably have some reference from Houndoom's Mega referencing either Cerberus or an Orthros.
Yeah, that could have been cool.
I said, in its lore, if it bites you, you feel the pain forever, so...
Yes, it is spiritual fire.
Like, that is horrifying. And, like, how could you get less evil than that? Like that is just pure evil just to do that.
What we're saying is, don't get a Houndoom.
I mean, if you want to risk it, be my guess.
I don't know, Mordred, would you risk it for your next pick?
Well, I gotta go with my favorite Pokemon from Sword and Shield.
Oh.
Okay. I'm curious of what it will be.
We've taken a lot of thought.
Oh, wait,
wait a
I
minute,
know
I
what
know
it
what
is.
this one is. I think I know what it is.
Galarian Moltres.
Okay.
That was not anyone's guess.
That was so out of left field, but you know what? All right.
Okay.
I guarantee that was not on anyone's radar.
No,
Nope.
but you know what? I appreciate the contracts.
The better Moltres.
Just look at
Disagree.
it. It looks so fucking good.
It really does, though.
I wish I had still had some with fire though.
They took the worst TheKingBirb and they made it way better.
I'm kind of on the fence on it, but I do like it. I'm on the fence on whether I like the regular or the Galarian more, is what I'm saying.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it so much if it had some fire moves to its name with that, with even a design like that. Like, that still looks like fire, and yet it doesn't have any.
It's unfortunate. Another thing about Moltres' design that does not work, thanks to it being a fire type, in quotation marks, apparently.
It does get Sunny Day to that's a fire move.
What can it do with it?
I
Nothing.
don't know. It could set it up for a buddy.
Comes the sun, do-do-do-do.
Although you do got James ripping that flaming Moltres back in Season 1.
Oh, Jesus.
Think about this. In Pokemon's newest series following Liko and this thing was draining people's energy just by being in the area.
I've already got a bit of that in the games.
Yeah, instead of them just being there.
Yeah, Pokemon.
And then they
care.
run away.
Pokemon care again.
And it took root in the Galar mine.
Still not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah, just wish they got a little more oomph to their story.
That's a Pokemon problem. That's not even Galarian Moltres' fault.
No, I'm not even blaming Galarian Moltres for that. I am definitely blaming Pokemon for that.
Seeing this for the first time, I loved it.
Yep.
Out of the 3 Galarian versions, I think it's my second favorite.
Third, honestly.
Same.
Second.
Ouch.
I'm sorry.
Look, Articuno's just cool.
I like Zapdos. Like my Chocobo.
I mean, yep.
It is a The shiny one really looks like a Chocobo.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but like, it's literally just because of that Zapdos is my favorite. Otherwise, it would probably be Articuno, but we're not here
Chocobo
for
draft
either of
list
them.
when.
You can, actually.
Again, we're not here for them. We're here for the Firebird. Well,
The purple
quotation marks
Chocobo.
Firebird.
But you know,
Well,
what?
those two aren't dark.
Yeah, that's literally what I was just saying.
it's true. It's true. But who is Dark, Peter? Who is Dark?
Well, there's a dark creature that lurks in a realm beyond our own. They call it an Ultra Beast. They call it Guzzlord.
Oh yeah, I knew he was gonna pick this at some point.
I like Guzzlord because in the Japanese dub of the anime, he just fucking screamed.
I like Guzzlord because he go nom nom. He has
He
a
does.
creepy black hole like stomach. He has a freaking Halloween pumpkin looking shiny. He looks great. He has some neat lore. Being an Ultra Beast, he's from the Ultra Ruin, which is a destroyed version of Holy City from Alola, which is really cool. I love the Ultra Worlds, but that's one of the fucking coolest.
Yeah, that is just some visual storytelling at its finest.
I like
It's great.
I like Guzzlord shiny. I just wish they inverse the colors so the main body's orange and then the lips are white. I would have liked that more.
I think it's great as is.
I just hurt my throat with that.
Did you scream like Guzzlord?
I screamed like Guzzlord.
It didn't pick up.
It didn't even pick up.
It didn't pick up in Discord, but it picked up in my recording.
Well,
God.
that's fair enough. At least it'll be heard. It didn't go to waste,
God.
Sam.
Rest in peace, your vocal cords.
Drink some water. Take a second. We'll
I'd have to go and get some water real quick.
And wait,
Emergency
Ultra-
recovery.
we'll Guzz overboard.
Be quick, it's your turn next.
Guzzlord
know.
has taken another victim. Roll credits.
I'm definitely.
No!
You know what?
Don't
Just
roll
to
credits.
fill time, throw 3 Guzzlord screams in.
That's not even close.
But I am not going down to the likes of Guzzlord. I'll cash in one more of my lives. What's the matter with that? Because I have friends that depend on me. Friends that need to show off their spirit. They need to sit down and rock out. Come out, Galarian Zigzagoon!
Lord
Okay, we're going
Ziggy.
with this version of him. Okay.
I'm not surprised because it's Sam, but I'm fine with this because I think he's adorable.
I love all the versions of him.
I
Same.
love Zigzagoon just in general, and when this came out, I was so excited because I too love to rock and roll all night and party every day.
In terms of the like alternate forms that a lot of these things get, like the regional ones, Zigzagoon is one of the top for me.
The Kiss
really
Pad
is.
reference is really cool.
And the shiny's
It's
pretty good. The fact that it's such a drastic
It really
color,
is.
It's a
It's
drastic color
pop
change.
punk.
It's a drastic color change, but I can't hate it. It is
No,
just so out
it's
there
one
that I
of the
love
good
it.
ones because it keeps the white and then changes the black.
It's neon punk, and that's what makes it amazing because it still keeps up the punk aesthetic.
That's one of the ones that felt like they actually like designed the shiny because apparently some of these are just like a number generated thing. I don't know how true that is.
Like, you can
in-
definitely tell, like, this one was not on accident. Somebody had to do that.
Correct. To a certain generation, they were just generated based on numbers and what their original color is, but now they're actually being designed, and that shows
Yeah,
so well with Galarian Zigzagoon.
Well, then whoever's designing some of these shinies, they're doing a good job. Whoever's doing the rest of them doing shit.
I just
You
hope
know-
they redesign many of the older ones, because holy crap,
I would love a redesign, even of another one from Gen 3, because Zigzagoon is from Gen 3, and it was so good to see it along next to its counterpart, Mightyena. And it was so, and I love this dark doggo that does nothing really. I want it to be good because it looks so cool when it gets Intimidate, but that's basically all it has.
I mean, Intimidate is still one of the strongest abilities of all
Yeah,
time.
but
It is.
I'm finding a lot of people recently that really like Mightyena, and I just can't understand why.
I mean,
Puppy.
if I'm being honest here, they say the same thing for Bibarel and Bidoof, and I don't understand it either, so I'm like...
How dare
question it.
you not like God?
Yep, see, there it is. See,
My
there
favorite
it
dark
is.
types, Bidoof and Bibarel.
I was talking about, like, the love more than
But
the
Doof
actual,
I like
what
just because he's
else.
cute. But that's a
I-
conversation for
Sam
the normal
and I
draft.
about to throw hands.
Excuse me? Do you not like Mightyena? Because
I
I'm
think you-
about to.
I think the problem is she does, and you stole it from her.
Too bad. I like it more, bitch. And I will love
Fuck
this.
you.
And I will love this bitch to the end of my days.
He's
Now,
good
am I,
luck.
am I talking about Mightyena or Mordred? You decide, chat or comment section. Anyways, Peter,
Can't be cooked.
you're up next. What do you got?
Well, I had one destructive dark creature. I'm gonna choose another one. A creature of ruin. Wo Chien, the snail, come forth!
Damn.
The snail.
The
That's
snail.
pretty much what he is. This is the one I liked the most, I think, besides Chiyu, just because like he's so unique looking. Like he's so cool.
Yeah,
so
he's easily my second favorite of the three.
He's my easy favorite. His eye expression kills me. 10 out of 10. Perfect depiction of character through design in just one basic thing is eye posture in its official art. The grass dark type is a neat combo, even if it's been repeated a few times now. It's a Treasure of Ruins member. It's got interesting lore with potential future storytelling potential. I really want to see where the treasures came from in a future game. We find out more lore about them.
Don't
I
worry,
just-
we'll get it in the
I
Legends
think
game.
they're really neat.
I do love how like each one just incorporates the treasure in its own design, and with the tablets just being like the entire spiral of its snail pet shell, like that's just amazing.
Yeah, I think Wu Chen does it the best out of all of them, honestly.
I mean, Chi-Yu also does it pretty cool with the eyes.
Yeah, but
I
doesn't do. I don't know. I feel like Wu Chen just
And,
does it
it's
better.
yeah, I still agree. It's very up there.
I do love that both Chi-Yu and Wo Chien are basically representations of a Chinese mythology brought into Paldea.
All
Considering all four of them are, yes. No, they're all part of the same mythology, and they all work together really well because Spain actually does take a lot from China, and they also have like quite a bit of historical relationships with each other.
But
So it's really cool to see that in the games.
And you know what? Wochen gets the benefit of the Gen 9 like art engine they were using because it's got a lot more detail with the leaves and stuff that looks more unique than like any other Pokemon.
Yeah.
Aside from Chi-Yu, which has that cell shading look.
On a related note, great shiny.
Although I do have to say,
we
it does
get.
steal its concept from Burmy. It covered itself in leaves.
I forget what it's shiny
I mean, you
looks like.
say that, but Burmy wishes it could be this fabulous.
It's true.
Excuse me. Have you not seen Mothim?
Yes.
He also
I've
wishes he
seen
could
it.
be that fabulous.
Yeah, exactly.
Even as the
Don't
Gen
shade.
4 fanboy, Woshi and Burmy line any day.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, Mordred?
Fuck
know.
it, I am tapping into the past.
Oh no, not the past.
Does that mean the literal past or the in-game world past? I don't know which
As
one.
I call upon Roaring Moon.
Okay,
Oh, there we go.
yep. Yep. Okay, fair enough.
But are you tapping into the past? Or is this someone's imagination that they brought to reality thanks to a machine?
Goddamn paradoxes.
How are you tapping into the past when this is a
Who
modern
the
day
hell
Pokemon?
knows?
It's true.
Actually,
We really-
that's not a theory anymore. That's like basically what it is.
Well, I went to Area Zero.
So did I.
I don't know what's going
And
on
I
anymore.
found-
The moon go roar and I'd be scared.
The crystals are like Jirachi. They're wish-granting devices. You want to see the past? Okay. We will make the past for you.
To catch this Mega Salamence looking Salamence.
Yeah, I do like how this is one of two Paradox Pokemon
Yeah.
that actually incorporates Mega designs rather than just the normal form.
I do love that it is also Salamence Dark type as well. It is pretty great.
I choose to believe that the Pokemon Company made Roaring Moon to spite anyone asking for
I mean,
Megas.
look at it. It looks
then we
like
got
a
Mega straight
natural
after.
version of Mega Salamence.
It does. It does.
There was no refuting there. Also, I will say for a Dragon type, it's always nice to see like the feathered wings.
I also
And it just really pulls it off.
for the longest
It
time
is a
I
really
didn't-
good Salamence type.
for the longest time I didn't realize he had back legs. I thought he was just dragging himself on the ground too.
Well, I mean, it kind of looks like that too, oftentimes, and I also think that's more characterization for him.
I actually would have preferred if he didn't have back legs. That would have been really unique if you don't have a Pokemon quite like that.
Look, he's from the like extreme ancient past. He's still evolving, okay?
The extreme ancient past that may or may not have existed.
Yeah, look, he's still trying to evolve, and yet he's this much of a threat.
Dude just came out of the ocean. Give him a break.
If they don't exist, does that make them fan fiction?
Actually, yeah, these are fanfiction brought to life in the Pokemon world,
Um,
kinda.
Yeah. Actually,
Paradox Pokemon, more like fanfic Pokemon. Got him.
that makes them a paradox though. Because they are Pokemon that exist that shouldn't exist.
Oh,
Oh
no.
god. My brain is melting. Quick, Mordred! What
You
else
mean-
do you like about this thing?
Meanwhile,
What did you want to talk about so we don't get lost in the past?
I'll tell you what I'll
it's
do.
the final boss of Scarlet, to be fair.
It's really good.
I mean,
Aside from
penultimate.
Koraidon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what we
you're
call
right.
penultimate.
Penultimate's still pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the point. Anyways,
Alrighty, fine. I'm gonna bring in the pain train. It's going to a cage match. This is Incineroar.
Oh,
from the top rope.
Everyone has their own like favorite little starters for like every region, and I'm sorry, this is just mine from Alola. It's just got so much more personality than all the others, in my opinion. And dear God, just watching its Z move just going from literally the top ropes, as mentioned earlier, to just bring in so much pain. It is just glorious. And then they've decided just, you know what? He's just going to be our Smash Bros. Inclusion also, and he's just going to wrestle everyone and throw them all the way to the ground and off the ring.
he's only at Smash Bros. Because Primarina ain't got legs.
Well, I do have to disagree about it being the mon with the most personality, as my pick from Gen 7 would be Primarina. But it is a really well-designed mon with a lot of good characteristics about it, and being able to show off a heel type wrestler very fucking well.
And you say that, but again, this is also the same reason that has a literal mass wrestler to just team up with it.
Yes.
Like, if I didn't pick it as my starter, I would ensure that they would have it every single time.
Yeah.
Because it just makes too much sense.
Blaziken Mask really does deserve this Pokemon.
What?
Blaziken Mask, no? Is that who we're talking about?
No.
Oh, damn. I wonder if there was any other masked superhero in the Pokemon universe at some point. I guess we are royally screwed with that one.
Nor are you.
You say that, but they're going to be here for a while.
To avoid me having another Incineroar rant, I would just say I like its pre-evolutions, and that's all the praise I'm going to give it. Goodbye.
I mean, fair enough, but like, I still love that it just goes out with the whole wrestler motif and just brings it up
She's
to
gonna
11.
give me an aneurysm, I swear.
Like, the only Pokemon I think that could honestly compete with it in the wrestling motif would be Hawlucha. But honestly, I feel like those two would just make a great tag team.
They really would. Either that or they'd sell a really big match.
Hey, that show would sell
all over.
That show would just sell out.
I'd buy tickets.
Anyone buying tickets? Anyone buying tickets? Yes? No? You?
No.
I'll buy tickets if it involves the debate of if it should have been another firefighting type.
No.
No.
He's gonna throw you down if you keep that debate going.
I mean, well, to move on from this, because I'm tired of talking about this stupid cat, my turn. Sableye. I'm just gonna say it's Sableye, a funny little gem gremlin. He's just
Yeah, that's a good one.
he's just hungry for gems. He eats the gems.
Did you say he was a gemlin?
Yes. Actually, I'm fine with this.
Good old Dusknoir's minions.
Yeah.
Dude,
I mean, they do say beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
He was the
And-
he was the OG, could not be hit by anything super effectively Pokemon.
Then the fairy type nation attacked.
Well, there's nothing I could do about that. But for a while there, and not only that, he also had like the little design benefit that I like, where he has the Ruby Sapphire Crystal or Ruby Sapphire Emerald in his back. It's just a nice little, homage to where he comes from. I just like it. And he always moves like super creepy in most of the three. Haven't used him in like the more recent 3D games, but like in like the Coliseum XD games, he moves pretty creepily. And some of his models and sprites have moved weird into the other games. I just appreciate that weird jittery kind of movement he's got. And he gets Mega. That's always nice. It's not great, but it's, he has it.
I mean, no, it's actually pretty good. It's actually one of one of the most obnoxious Pokemon anyone's ever had to deal with. It is just a nuisance in every sense of the word.
I'm going off VGC World Champion Wolfie. He says it's not that good. I'm going with him.
Well, VGC is a whole another ball game to like singles.
Look, even though fairy types came out in Gen 6, it was still a menace as a really defensive tank.
Oh yeah,
Do not mess with Sableye.
You know what else is a menace? It's honorable mentions. If we even
Wow,
have
that
any.
one was great.
Yeah, I don't even know if we have. I don't even know if we actually have any honorable mentions with how many we're naming. So if there is any, there might just be one. Who knows?
I definitely have a few honorable mentions remaining.
Well,
I
there's
have
still,
2 honorable mentions remaining.
there's still 5 picks left, so we'll see if any of them get picked. I hope one of them for you
Honorable
guys
mentions Arceus and Sylvally.
No.
Just
Oh my
kidding.
No.
God. That's great.
I've already denied this like 5 times from Peter. No.
What about a Kecleon that changes type?
Do they at least count it? Do they at least count for the normal type?
Yes, they would count as that. Moving on from this. Obstagoon. I'm going with Obstagoon.
I've
Yeah.
been sniped.
I have as well.
There weren't too many Dark types left that I particularly cared for. Dark types is one of my least favorite types, personally. But, Obstagoon, he was like a cool idea, like when, you know, he's an evolution of the Galarian Zigzagoon, so which, you know, so he keeps the shiny, which is really neat. He's just a thick boy, he's just like, no, you're not coming through here. No, a signature move, Obstruct. No, you're not coming through here. Just a solid wall, solid defense, pretty good offense, and just like a weird evolution going from from Linoon to an Obstagoon. I feel like there's a stage missing in between there, but
No, there isn't.
it feels like
Nah.
there is.
Well,
It's the next
we may
evolution
go
of
over 'em.
Punk. Rock.
But I still just love the whole how with this thing, even though it was added so many generations later, it still keeps the naming convention of how like the whole line goes down.
He's a
I just love
goon.
that.
He's a goon.
He's a
Not
goon.
even a goon, he is the obstacle goon.
Which I feel like they've underutilized him in both Galar, and I know he's not in Scarlet Violet, but I feel like there's potential to use him.
I mean, you say that, but he was basically the ace for the Dark Gym,
Yeah,
which
and I
was
still-
basically a punk underground that you would expect this thing to be in.
and I still it, like feels like he was underutilized.
But that's just the gym leader himself being underutilized more than anything.
That was Jen
True.
being being underutilized as a whole.
To be fair, he was also the lead singer for the end credits.
Which was pretty cool.
What do you mean, Ed Sheeran?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'll think of Gen 9.
Yeah,
That is Gen 9.
that is Gen 9. Like
Oh,
he
you
was
know
there
what?
with like I'm pretty sure he also had Rillaboom and 2 of the oh my god, what were those?
Toxtricity.
Like, yeah, both of them.
Toxtricities. Yep. The Heike and Loki forms.
Like that's
Oh,
just cool.
If only he had a voice actor. Anyway, Galak, would you like to finish off your list?
Oh boy, where do I even go with this? This is what happens when you have so many options and you still somehow have so many left. I need a coin for this. I legit need a coin for this.
Here, 2. There you go.
The second one. I was gonna say the second one.
The second one? Okay,
Second.
fine. I'm going with the electric road at poor Pecco.
See, that's a deadlock pick. That is 100% a deadlock pick.
More Pico!
Little hamster.
Yeah, so there are so many freaking Pika clones out there that just either just get left by the wayside or just get their moments of spotlight. Morpeko, I just love just how it goes into its whole little dark side with the hangry mode, and it's just like the most sinister looking thing you would ever expect from a Pika clone ever.
Well,
And it's-
champion Pachirisu.
Yeah, then you have its signature move, which is like one of the strongest moves, either on the electric or dark type spectrum, that changes its type depending on which form this little rodent is in. And it gives you a speed boost on top of that. Like, this guy is running a marathon and he's gonna be running circles around you.
He's gonna be running circles in his circle
It's
as
true.
his hamster wheel comes at you in full force.
Yeah, like, but seriously though, 110 power and a speed boost on top of that. Like, that is nuts.
He's a good hamster.
He is a very good hamster. He's also a very hangry one. Make sure you feed him properly and make sure it's not before midnight.
Hamster.
Not a gremlin. Well, actually, he might be.
Yeah, like, yeah, make sure you feed him before it's midnight.
That is a deadlock pick. I think that adds points to your list for me. But what does a Mordred pick look like?
It's gonna be good, I can tell you that.
I pick the dark grass type of Gen 3, the one who has aided me so much in each run. I choose you Shiftry.
That is an interesting pick. I've never heard of
That was a
anyone.
very interesting pick.
Yeah, Shiftry's not usually one I think of. just in general.
The only time I think of Shiftry is when it comes to Aaron of the Elite Four in Gen 3.
And even then, I was never afraid of it.
Wait, no, Aaron's the bug of Gen 4.
Yeah,
no,
that's
you're thinking,
Gen 4.
you're thinking of Sydney.
Yeah.
Sydney, that's the one.
Yeah, again, I'm usually never afraid of it either.
Yeah.
I'm curious of what the reasoning here is for Morgan.
I'm more of a character in person myself, but Shiftry's kind of cool.
Actor's pretty cool.
I just
Look at it. It's based off a Tengu.
it is
No,
based
that-
off Tengu.
yes,
That doesn't really do much for me personally.
Unfortunately.
It is really cool. It is based on that Japanese mythology and it does show with its shoes that it's
I will say
designed with.
I
and
don't
lasts
dislike
forever.
Shiftry. I just feel like it's under. It's weird. As fully designed as it is, it also feels under-designed to me.
I just
I
feel like
agree.
it doesn't really become its full potential until later generations, where it actually picks up a bunch more wind moves that actually make it more of a threat.
Maybe if I use it,
also-
it again in whatever the next installment of Pokemon is that it's available, I'll give it a shot.
I do
And
kind of
also
wish
showing
like
off the-
Aerial 8 or something to help out with its flying.
And also it's
faster wind, but it's never really there.
yeah, that Tengu really shine through a little bit.
I'll say I do like its like face. It's got a very intimidating face.
Again, yeah, but that's straight from Tengu, which is.
I'm just,
I mean, it doesn't do it bad at all.
no,
It
it's
just-
like I said, it's well designed. It just feels under-designed to me, which is weird because it is fully designed. But I
So
don't
what
know
you're saying is give it a mega.
Yes, actually, please. I'd be okay with
It
that.
also fits an aesthetic that personally I don't really vibe with. Nothing against it, just personal.
I just don't see the transition from Nuzleaf to Shiftry. It just feels so.
Weird.
Yeah.
But it's the fact it's a physical attacker and was so early on in the game to get, and the fact it has chlorophyll and early bird just made it so easy to roll with.
In later gens, that was probably good. In Gen 3, it was
Yeah.
terrible just because of that special slip, which is not its fault. That was just.
I mean, to be fair, back then it was only a 10-point difference between the two, so it wasn't that much of a bad thing.
I don't know if I didn't know that. I thought it was more fun.
Yeah, it's 100 attack, 90 special.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Not bad. Put up a tailwind and you're probably good.
I mean, we're still never beating a Blaziken in any way, shape, or form.
Well, what would it do to a Blaziken? Yeah, I mean, like, that's...
An attack build with choice band and you're set.
I said, that's a stupid argument. It has the type advantage. What do you mean what's it do to Blaziken? Obviously it doesn't fight the Blaziken.
It uses pluck on the Blaziken.
I guess you could do that. Sometimes your arguments, fella, they make no sense to me.
They make dollars instead.
But guys, what's it gonna do to Altaria? I think it's gonna struggle to Altaria. Small hints.
Very
It's
much
my
so.
go-to grass type on Torchic playthroughs.
I might have to give it a shot at some point just to see. No,
Yeah.
you know what? When we do our Oraz playthrough, maybe
Actually, wait a
it'll...
minute. I actually need to look him up again real quick. Does he get what I think he does?
Does he get what? Just say it. Why do you do this?
Chlorophyll?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Morgan
Wow.
said that.
Yeah, Morgan
Okay,
said
well,
that.
yeah, I missed that.
It gets
Yeah.
chlorophyll and early bird.
Yep, yeah, it's
I
definitely the better
literally
option.
just said that.
Yeah, I missed that. I apologize.
halfway.
I
She
apologize.
literally just said that.
I
Yeah, she just
apologize.
said it.
God.
We fully done luck. Okay.
And
Now we-
later it gets pickpocket.
nice.
Pickpocket's not very good.
Apparently it also gets Wind Rider too, which is interesting.
That is good. That is good.
Yeah, just complete immunity to wind moves and as well as gain this attack increase. Like, yes, that's what I want
Yeah.
for this stage. That is something I would definitely want for a shift tree.
Finally, some shifter appreciation. There we go. That's what we want to see around here. You know what else I want to see? Peter's funnel pit.
Lost early bird for Wind Rider.
Hey, that's very worth.
Okay, okay. I choose a new friend of mine. He's a little buggy. He's called Lokix.
Does he kick
Oh
low?
god.
He's a strong-looking bug. He's got a good standing as like a early bird bug that looks like it could actually do something for once.
Yeah.
Always appreciate that. Dark and Bug's a neat combo. It's got the
See.
whole nimble kick-ass design. Pretty perfect on that regard.
It's the only dark bug.
Oh yeah, so it is. I was
Yeah, I don't
thinking
think,
there
I don't
was
think
one.
there's been another. Has
No,
there
it's-
been another?
Nope, it is the first one. It was one of those types that we didn't have yet.
Nice. So yeah, clicked
I
off.
feel
one
like
of
we
the
would have had that
tickets.
sooner, but
Everyone else
All
thought
right.
that too.
Speaking of which, 6 shiny and a really good base color scheme too. I really like its base color scheme. It
I do like the shiny. I just wish it wasn't so dull looking. It looks weirdly dull in the 3D model with the new art engine.
yeah, the lighting and everything.
It does.
Yeah, if it was more like reflective, like a gold carapace, I'd be better with it. It's just the weird lighting engine they
What
got.
we're saying at this point, go back Gen 10, go back to 2D. Thank you. Goodbye.
No, it's good. Do what Dragon Quest does and let us switch between the two.
No, that's a lot more effort than just doing one or the other.
Yeah, God
Yeah, they
forbid
don't
Pokemon
have the
put
dev
effort
time for that.
in. Yeah, God forbid Pokemon put the effort in.
It's not even putting in effort, it's just they don't have the time with the development cycles.
Yeah,
so-
They
You can definitely tell with all of them, they just want to do more stuff with it, but they just can't.
they can.
Yeah, I'd rather
they
they
can.
just
There's
went
no
back to
excuse for
2D.
these companies. They can do it. Do not give them the excuse because they will use it. They do not deserve the excuse.
I'm talking for the developers, not the publishers that are forcing
Yeah,
them to make it out every
the de-
year.
the de-
Oh my god, we
But
need
that
more
is, but that
consistency.
is completely off the rails again.
Yep, let's carry on.
It is
Nope, here
so
come-
far off the
My
rails.
video essay, my Pokemon video essay coming out soon. Don't worry.
It's low kicks it into high gear and move on.
Yeah, we gotta finish off this list, and there's no one better to finish off this list than me. You know, the Dark Cat of the Hour. So why not introduce another Dark Cat to bring it home? From Gen 9, I call forth Chien Pao!
I 100% thought you were gonna say Alolan Persian, and I was immediately gonna call you Garfield.
I don't like Alolan Persian.
That's
I like
also
Persian.
9.
That's why I said I thought that's what Sam was gonna say before Sam said Gen 9.
No, I'm a thought.
Shut the hell up.
But anyways, this is a snow leopard with swords for fangs, referencing the saber-toothed tiger from way back when this thing was probably being considered or created, and just the sword in its broken sword in its mouth, showing off those fangs, is such a good and fun design choice, and I can't help it. I love me a good snap. Snaps are good, and yeah, what better way to end off a list than to have your legendary go?
14 move.
I'm
Poor
sorry,
Tinglu.
Tinglu
Nobody
is just-
ever thinks about him.
Yeah,
It's
it's
gonna be
just
gang.
not. It's not good.
It's not there with the big growers.
Yeah, it's the weird cauldron hat thing. I know what it's going for, but it's just it doesn't quite work for me.
It is very based on the legend that it is that they are all based on, and it is very heavily inspired by that design.
That's fine. It just doesn't quite work for me. That being said, Chien-Pao's alright. Like weasel cat looking leopard.
Exactly.
I like the little diamonds. I feel like it's a little under-designed compared to the two that we've already stated. But it's not bad by any means.
It is missing a little something. It does look a little hollow, which I personally believe actually adds to it as a legendary being a little more mysterious and feeling not right, as a dark type should.
You can believe whatever you want. I still say it's under designs. But that being said, that is all our pick for the draft. Now we go on to the rankings. So Sam, since you're first, you get to rank first.
All right. Now, looking at all these choices, it is really hard to have anyone come in last because all these mons are just so good. I swear, like, the person I put in fourth, absolutely no disrespect. I love all your mons, but I'm sorry, Peter.
Oof.
It is just a personal preference. I don't really vibe with as many of the mons on your list as I do, say, Doc's list, which unfortunately I'm gonna have to give the bronze medal to.
Yeah. I hate mad.
It was good.
Bald.
It just Overquill and Grimmsnarl for me didn't really do much.
You have poor taste. That's okay.
I'm sorry that you have poor taste. But having said that, second place is between two really good lists, and I think all of one list vibes with me. Meanwhile, one mon on the other list is just barely bringing it down. So I'm really sorry, but Mordred, you're getting the silver medal again.
So close.
And Dead, we vibe too hard on this one.
Okay, so
Of
what did you?
fucking course.
So what pushed it over for you? I have to ask.
Well, the thing was, Galarian Moltres kind of brought it down for me.
Oh.
All right, that's a start, Sam. Or Peter, rather.
All right, well,
Are you
I have to
fucking
return the
kidding
favor
me?
here. Sam, you're at the bottom of my list. Nothing personal. I like Lipard. Purloin's okay. I like Absol. I like Galarian Zigzagoon. I'm okay with Mighty Yenna. I'm okay with Chinpel. There's nothing I disliked, but there's nothing I really loved.
Understandable.
If that makes sense. So it's like, they're all good, but I don't love any of them. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. Dead, my friend. I gave you good standing in the Yu-Gi-Oh, but you're not doing too well here. I love you, Velto. I'm okay with Chi-Yu, but I don't love it. Bisharp's okay. I like Houndoom a lot, so you
It was
get points
Incineroar
for
that
there.
brought it down, wasn't it?
You know it. I don't have to mention that, and Morpico's just fine, but yeah. Doc, my friend, you got a nice Scrafty. I don't care for your cat. Overcrawl's great.
How dare you?
Grimstall's great. Sableye cool. Obstagoon's cool, but you had to pick the cat. The cats have lost you to this.
How dare you?
Mordred, you've got a base choice in Zora and Zorak. Those two are top tier. Your respect for Galarian Moltres gets you a point. Urshifu's alright. Roaring Moon's alright. And I appreciate someone picking something out there like Shiftry, even if I don't entirely agree it's that great, but I appreciate
Yeah, it's definitely an
the
up there pick. I wouldn't
Yeah.
guess.
So, Mordred, you're top of my list. Enjoy.
I think that's Mordred's first gold.
Woo.
Congratulations, Mordred.
Yeah.
Which
You
now
broke
means,
the glass ceiling.
which now means it's Mordred's turn.
First gold insert PlayStation achievement sound here.
You're welcome.
But Xbox is more iconic.
No one cares.
Wow, that was just unnecessarily rude.
Hey, I say that as a person who uses Xbox
What he
on the
said.
PlayStation.
Steam wins. Bring on.
Anyways, Mordred.
Yeah, that's usually how I run it
Sam,
as well.
you stole so much important choices. I don't care much about Zigzagoon or the Purloin line.
I've have to drop you points for that alone.
Oh, come on.
If
I
anything,
love that line
If
so
anything,
much.
stealing should add points, but I do love the Zigzagoon.
I was gonna say stealing should add points, if anything, because those were on your list.
Yeah, like you would think that, but like
Everyone
No,
has
the-
their own but
the-
different
no,
values, so
or just losing points for me just for so much shit talking on Zigzagoon. How dare you?
Look, there was better options than Zigzagoon. I personally prefer Linoon.
Yeah, each their own.
I could.
I mean, we do have obstacles going over on the right,
I'd rather go in zigzags than a line.
especially when the thing apparently struggles to with even a slight curve in the road.
Yeah, right.
That is such a silly detail that I love.
It
and
is funny.
feel bad
I just
for.
imagine him running at a curve. He's like, "Oh shit! Oh shit! I can. What do I do? What do I do?" As he's running the tightest zigzags.
Yeah, like I just feel like there's like gears working in it. It's just like frustration. And it's like, what was Lanoon?
Also, I do have to say, Morpeko was a good out of left pocket pick, in my opinion.
That added points for Deluxe list for me just because that's a deadlock Pokemon. I know how much he loves it, so
I love it so much.
It's
Thanks.
hard as fuck to choose.
it is.
Yeah, I do not disagree.
It is.
With that.
In my head, everyone's lists are equally shit.
Oh, fuck you. Like,
Still have
it's just,
two people deciding your fate. I hope you realize.
it's just barely in turn.
I choose Doc. Mr. Make You Violently Mad himself. List is good, but I just don't vibe with most of it.
Man, I can't really believe how bad of taste you all have. Except for Deluxe,
I'm
he hasn't
sorry.
voted for me yet.
I'm sorry that you chose Overcool and Grimmsnarl.
I'm sorry, you don't appreciate true peak design.
You didn't know what a Zoot Suiter was, yet you still picked Scrafty.
Yeah, peak design.
Yeah, that is actually peak design. Meanwhile, Overquill
Peak design.
Excuse.
is a pun and nothing else. Doc's just gonna put me in last place out of spite.
I was already gonna put you in last place.
Oh, come on.
Do you
I
want to
had
make
the
it official?
cats.
Nah, I'd rather get Mordred's thoughts out finished up.
Deadlock Bud. Love the list. I really do. But Yveltal and Morpeko kinda killed it for me and I apologize.
Okay, Yveltal I could kind of understand. It's not everyone's thing, but Morpeko? This little ball of joy? You wound me.
Also,
She-
saying that Yveltal killed your list is basically saying that your list was dead on arrival.
I was about
I
to
mean,
say,
he's got him dead, so that's fair.
you killed your
Yveltal
own
killing
list.
a list? That's on brand.
Exactly. Instead of coal, he just makes you the coal.
Doc, I just thought of Yveltal as the Noctowl from
It's adorable, yes. But Morpeko just really wasn't that appealing in the anime. More a nuisance than anything.
As someone
Imagine-
who has not seen much of the anime, I cannot comment on that, but I'll just take your word for it.
Imagine Yveltal acting as Noctowl from Dogs in Love.
Or just being
boy.
Krampus.
I'm boy crazy.
I'm boy crazy. Number one man on the FBI's most wanted list, I'll say.
Oh no.
Peter Budd. You had all my favorites that I knew would be stolen.
Heyo. Let's go.
Ah.
I actually got my ideal team, so I'm set. I got nothing stolen from my top picks.
You
I'm-
even have Bemular on your list.
Tyranitar would have been in my next. It would have been my round 3 pick, but you got it right
Plus
before I
gotta
did.
give you respect for my first gold to be fair.
Heyo.
You bought Mordred's vote with your gold.
I am the victor.
All right.
Thank you for the
Also-
credit, Karma.
Also, personally, I don't connect with pseudo legendaries all that much, considering how hard they are to raise.
It was mostly the picks though.
All right.
I don't tend to vibe with them.
All right, Deadlock, it's your turn. What do you?
In last place, with 2 of the Pokemon I would actually be taken from me, is unfortunately you, Sam.
Figures.
Just-
Nobody appreciates Leopard, despite the fact that she's.
Well,
really
even if I
annoying.
did, well, the thing is, personally, even if I did, doubling down on a line doesn't exactly do favors for me. I'd like to see more just options than just the same Pokemon again.
Yeah, I like Lipard, but putting Purloin kind
Yeah,
of...
Absol.
Wouldn't do
Honestly,
you
it was
favors.
Absol and Zigzagoon that were just doing a lot of the heavy lifting for me. But Chien-Pao was also personally my least favorite of the treasures, and Mightyena is just like, okay, fine, sure, you're there.
Look, Leopard and Purloin are personal aesthetic choices.
No,
and
I, like again,
that's
I,
why I
like,
wanted them to be
I mean,
better.
like, Liepard is probably the bronze medal on your list for me, but again, just like the rest just does not speak to me nearly as well. And if you heard that first comment, I'm sorry, Mordred, but you are taking the bronze one for this one for a similar reason as Sam. Like Zoro and Zoro, great choices. Just want to see a little more in there than just the same line again.
See, that
Also,
reasoning
like
actually makes sense.
Urshifu doesn't really do much for me. Galarian Moltres, not so much either. I will say Roaring Moon and Shifty were surprisingly
Middle
the highlights
finger.
of yours. I was just here. I am praising you for Roaring Moon and Shifty. Okay, fine, sure, whatever.
Mordred,
So,
it was all
again,
compliments. He just prefers more variety.
Yeah, that's literally
This-
the
this
only.
is a-
That's
this
like
is
the
a-
reason that you're in the bronze for me.
This is a concept with Deadlock. He likes variety, so if you put multiples of similar things on your list, he will dock points.
Good thing he wasn't in the Yu-Gi-Oh.
Ouch.
Oh, wait.
Yes,
Which
he wasn't the Yu-Gi-Oh.
leaves me in a conundrum because the both of you took 4 from my list.
Oh.
Well, damn. Who
Like
has the
that, it
better
should be a compliment
six
that we have
pick?
No,
no taste.
just so you know, Peter, you took Umbreon, Darkrai, Tyranitar, and Wo Chien from me, as well as Doc taking Overqwell, Grimmsnarl, Sableye, and Obstagoon. I love those Pokemon a lot in this. In fact, some of those were just like really high ranking for me. So it really just comes down to the last 2 of yours that I need to figure it out. And Zach, you're getting the silver medal.
Fucking goddamn it.
It just Scrafty Meowscarada does not do much for me. Guzzlord, like neither does Low Kicks, but like Guzzlord just has so much going for him. That's what elevates his list above the others for me.
Crafty
Like-
has a lot going for it.
Yeah, but
Yes,
like then there's Guzzlord who literally ate an entire city that could have been yours. Like that is just stuff that elevates him for me.
Oh, yes, just because my fucking Pokemon don't eat a goddamn city.
Skill issue, build your Pokemon better.
Like, it's like Meowscarada doesn't do much for me, Scrafty doesn't do much for me, Low Kicks doesn't do much for me, but Guzzlord is actually has a lot going for him. They're a little more than just the rest. That's
God.
just me personally.
If Sam and Mordred had better taste, this would be going better.
Can I change my list? Can I put Dead in last place and put Doc in first?
No.
You put me third,
That's not how
there's
this
no
works.
excuse for that.
There is an excuse for that. The excuse is Overquill.
Again, I actually quite like Overquill. Like, that was actually a pretty good Pokemon. That was not
I-
expected to have sniped from me.
It's just,
I saw it and I was like, that's so stupid.
Sam,
And moved on with my life.
I'm not taking your opinion into consideration, considering you're getting last place.
The quadfecta.
This
I'm
is
not-
drama.
I like my early game Mons. What can I say?
Yeah, well, I'm not taking opinion about how good something looks in design when you're getting last place for it. I ain't hearing it.
Okay.
That being
Overquill is
said,
stupid.
I do kind of agree with Dillock. I like variety more to getting third. I agree. Urshifu doesn't really do much for me. I don't hate it. I don't love it. Same thing with Moltres, but it does lean a little more on the dislike for me. Roaring Moon is okay. Shiftry, I always found bland. I was very adamant about that when you brought Shiftry up. Going second, this is where I'm getting mad, because as much as I want to rig this in my favor, I'm gonna have to be honest, and that's what makes me mad about this whole thing. Second place, unfortunately, as much as I'd like to put first place just to rig the votes in my favor, Deadlock, you're getting second. I don't care much for Yveltal. Bisharp doesn't do too much for me either. Incineroar, I actively don't care for. But Morpeko is fine because I know that's a U pick, so that boosted a bit. That's why Mordred did a little better for me. And then in Chi-Yu, I like. Houndoom is okay for me. So unfortunately, I have to give Peter first place. I hate to do that because that means he's gonna win again. But
I'm cracked at this. Let's go.
Well,
it's not my
to be
fault.
fair,
everyone
he
else
also has a
shit
last
opinion.
place position also.
No,
So how does that factor in everything?
Well, that only means he's not getting. So I'm doing the math right now. So Peter, you get a total of 9 points. I don't have to do the math on that one. I gotta do the rest now. So for me yeah, I got 6 points.
I have no points.
Sam's got no points. Mordred has 2, 3, 1, 1. Mordred has 7 points, and Deadlock has
8.
8.
Yeah, 8.
So Peter, by 1 point, gets first place.
Gaming.
Is
Again.
crowned the king of dark type Pokemon. Deadlock gets a solid second with 8 points. Mordred gets a solid third with 7. And then I get fourth with 6. Sam, you get last with 0.
I have opinions.
Yes.
We all have
apparently-
opinions.
That's what this whole thing was, and apparently your opinion is shit.
Not really. They just don't vibe with everyone. I wouldn't say
Uh.
they're shit. Like, I get that my Mons are not the strongest or the most
Popularis is
popular.
shit.
I understand that they're not the strongest or the most popular. They're the ones that I like. I don't care.
Which is fair.
That's all
Which is
that
always
matters
fair.
at the end of the day. I'm just mad Peter wins again.
Hope, see
With-
if I'm
with the
too good at
most-
your
with the
tiers.
Paraphrase
Like,
Karen,
He's got the
a
most
dark type
box
leader.
standard- He's got the most box standard list, and it's so boring, but it's just better than everyone else's.
I mean, just to like help Sam out a little bit, like just to paraphrase one dark leader, because hey, they are your favorites. As long as you do well with them, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Peter's banned from the next draft list.
No, he
Skill
isn't.
issue.
Shut up.
Get good.
I can do whatever I want.
Why don't you win
Anyways.
one then?
Anyways, those are just our opinions. Let us know what you think down in the comments. Vote in the comments too. Make sure you like the comments. Mordred's rigging the vote, so don't vote for Mordred. Just kidding. Just
That's
kidding.
not how this works.
I can do whatever I want.
I mean, I could rig the votes in my favor.
But that being said, like whoever you want to vote in, because it's fuck it, no one
Anonymous.
knows no one knows who you're
Anonymous.
voting for. You can vote for however many people you want. And let us
Yeah.
know what you like to see in the future. We do have, well, I have 2 planned draft lists for October. So get ready for those. And let us, I don't know. Thank you everyone for joining me, of course. Thank you for sharing your opinions on the internet. We all know how bad that can be sometimes.
I got over
Hey.
it.
But we'll see you all next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
No parents.
Darkness.
Darkness.